Round one underway for the women. Heat two out there in the lineup. Carolyn Marks on the backhand, taking off. Nice hit to get started. So impressive, the teenager, in a rookie campaign. And a really good matchup here with two other goofy footers in Tatiana Weston-Webb and Bronte Macaulay. We are live from Karamas for the Corona Bali Protected, presented by Hurley. And we'll see a replay of this wave, and former championship tour surfer Rosie Hodge can break it down for you.
I love the way she just tees up on her backhand, just long drawn up bottom turn. Unfortunately that wave shouldering off, not much critical section for Caroline, but she likes to get that early start. And I'm sure from the previous heat we saw Coco start strong and just find that rhythm. So we'll see if that falls in Caroline's favor. You can tell that wave just flattens out. But Caroline still works it over, and that's important. Just if you're going to take off on a wave, especially if it's the first one of the heat, just make sure you ride it until it's complete. That's going to set the scale. The judges are going to have a look at that, put a number to it.
Is Bronte Macaulay, who's really just a stone's throw away from Bali over there in WA, and Bronte lets go of a big backhand jam to get started on this ride. All three surfers out there have great technique on the backhand.
Watching these ladies, seeing their technique on the backhand. You mentioned no natural foot, goofy foot comparisons here, both of them on their backhand. This turn here from Bronte, that just stands out to me as a major maneuver and something just so well done by the goofy footer from Western Australia.
His first effort there, Tatiana Weston-Webb. Certainly the favourite with the results that she's been able to claim with her backhand attack in recent times. She's going to string together a couple of nice hits here, right there on the inside.
Draw that board back down, and then Tatiana, her speed that she carried throughout this wave was just so impressive to me. That just tells me that every turn that she's doing, coming out of it with a lot of speed, she's very committed, and the wave is smooth, the flow, it's all there.
Who's going to flare up? Carolyn Marks up once again. Really explosive off the top. Even getting a couple of fins above the lip there. 5.33 on her first wave. This wave's going to back it up pretty nicely. She rides it right through to that inside section. Carefully jumps off over that shallow reef.
Talk about seeing these exchanges go down and just knowing that all three of these ladies are switched on. Caroline Marks never fully extends her body, keeps that low center of gravity. She's able to absorb everything this wave throws at her. Even finishes off there on that shallow section. You can tell that she wants to keep herself just flat to that reef. Always coming at you. You're watching these sections. This wave is bending at you. You've got to be ready to attack at a moment's notice.
A 4.5 required for Tatiana on this wave to get herself into the lead. This one is fading away somewhat, so it doesn't really have that nice continuous line that she can really flare up on and show us her variety. So that one, it's going to be borderline. Might not be enough to get her into that number one position.
Let's see, this first maneuver right here. I like that turn, and we think about what Bronte did for the 4-point ride, the 4.5, and Tati kind of needs something close to that. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but you can see as soon as that longer wall comes away, able to get a couple more turns. She's looking lethal.
Cracked the final at the second event of the season. Also semi-finaled over there in Brazil. I think she was super inspired. Of course, now repping Brazil on the championship tour.
Here she goes. She just digs in, throws that shoulders around, and finds a couple turns on this wave. Looking for that 4.5, a smaller wave. But a lot of work done. Tell that she's working this one over underneath the girl's priority. The second turn a little bit sharper than the one previous. Is it going to be that 4.5? I'm not too sure it's going to go in that category, but still getting those reps, still feeling that rhythm.
Oh, here we go. Bronte Macaulay up now. She had a 4.5 in her first wave. Good section here. She doesn't waste it. Big backhand blast straight into a nice carve. So 16 and a half minutes to go. Do you think Caroline's going to extend?
We'll have a look, but Bronte Macaulay, just beautiful surfing, meeting that lip and finding the carve through. Second carving maneuver. Know that she got a 4.5 for one maneuver.
A final end section that she can lay into. Caroline out the back, choosing this wave as an opportunity to extend her lead. Wants to get rid of a 5.33. Lightning fast off the top through that second maneuver. Neat little sequence of turns on the outside. And has juiced every single one of her rides right through to that inside shelf. Just under 7 minutes to go here.
We'll see if she can back it up. But Caroline Marks, she asked me if she can extend her lead. I think this is going to go in her top two. Finds two beautiful maneuvers out there. Even gets that little bit of a fitness feeling as she makes that drop. I love, you know, what Strider said about her kind of shortening up those bottom turns and getting a lot of speed through those turns and bringing that into every approach. That just means that you've got that flow, you've got the rhythm on the wave, you're never battling uphill.
Welcome back to the Corona Bali Protected, presented by Hurley. Out there in the line at the moment, Caroline Marks is on fire. Bronte Macaulay also surfing well and trying to chase down a lead at the moment. Chasing a big score though. Bronte getting some opportunity on this wave to really combo up her turns. Caroline Marks had a 6.17. We're still waiting on a big number to drop for her. That's going to see her extend that heat score total and make life pretty hard for Tatiana Weston-Webb and Bronte Macaulay. Have a look at the replay for Bronte.
Loving Bronte's style on her waves. And also the way that she's just linking those maneuvers together. But you got to think about what Tatiana's doing and what Caroline. They just have those bigger moments on their way. It just needs to bring that added element.
Well, Tati up, live action, cutting back into the bowl. The wave's tapering off so she can see she's really trying to stay in the most critical part of that wave. Doing pretty well. So just keep a flow going while attacking that bowl. But there is big scores required to chase down Caroline Marks, who just dropped a 7.67. I really feel that Bronte's got those big turns to match Tatiana, and Caroline just needs to find a wave that has a couple of big sections on it.
I agree with you. And the way that Tatiana was able to project out of that maneuver right there puts her out in front of this wave, and that's so important. She just stays ahead of this wave so well. She's never put on the back foot. She's always able to, you know, really consider what the wave's going to throw at her and reads it so nicely. You have to have an impact on the wave if you're going to get into that first place, and that's what Caroline's been doing.
Have a look at the conditions on offer here. Day 4 of the event window. The women getting their first opportunity. Caroline Marks on the attack, trying to get rid of a 6.17. It is silky smooth out there at the moment for the ladies, and one man who's absolutely eating up the show, a goofy footer himself, is Strider Wozalewski. This is a special heat, Strider.
Tatiana kind of closing that gap a bit, but Caroline is in transition a little quicker and finding that pocket, and it's pretty much just technique. And watching it, it's really fun to watch. That last wave, she absolutely blew the tail up over the top of the wave, regained composure, kept that low center of gravity, so her recovery time was easy. If you're too tall, you're going to topple over, but at that low center of gravity, you can recover, regain composure, reconnect the board and the fins into the water, and then come away with more maneuvers.
But just their technique on the backhand, it has just really evolved with all these rights. Bronte, another solid individual turn, but just hasn't found those waves with the combo opportunities.
You know, the profit of that is a great backhand. And if you think about, well, let's see if Tati can find
Tati,
Iman.
she grabs that rail. Just didn't get really close enough to the wall to really slot in there. So she's going to drive around that section, 4.5 minutes to go. In that situation, the wave actually dictated what was going to happen and took the option away from Coco. She read it beautifully. As we go back to live action here, just under 2 minutes to go. Caroline looking to drop a 7.67 to extend her lead. She can afford to throw everything into that turn with this lead that she's established. Something's starting to stand up on the outside. The clock ticking by. Will Tatiana get to her feet in time? Well, I can hear the hooter sounding. I don't think she will, but she's going to ride this wave to the best of her ability anyway. Tucking in, finding some cover. The wave spits out onto that open face, winds through a nice big cutback. The heat is over. What a wave. Maybe the wave of the morning.
Wow, beautiful conditions.
Well, that was a lot of fun, Rosie.
Yeah.
Caroline Marks is going to be powering through to the third round.